Hello, teacher. I'm going to talk about my experience during the observation week. I went to observate classes in Escuela Secundaria Técnica número 4, that is located in Dolores Hidalgo, Guanajuato. The titular teacher is Juan Gerardo Arredondo Hernandez, and not only me will be working with him, also my classmates Jan and Luz Maria will be working with him. He only gives classes to second grade, so he has 6 groups, and he bring us two groups to every one of us, and my groups are second grade, C and D. My classmates and I join all the classes during the week. The teacher only gives one class for every group, one class at week, and he do like a program with activities. So we join all the calls together, and I saw that students joined the call late. I'm talking about if the class starts at 1 o'clock, the teacher and I join, and my classmates of course join the class at 1 o'clock, and only one student or two were on the call at the same time. The rest of the students were joined the class one by one, and the class started at 1:10 or maybe 1:15 because the teacher it was waiting for the other students. While the teacher was waiting, he read a book in English, and then he explained it in Spanish. Also, he tries to make a conversation with the students, and he asks them about the reading or about topics that are related to the reading. Are really big groups, are like 30 something, but only some students join the call. I'm talking about 7 students or 9, no more. And in one day, on Monday, I joined the class alone with the teacher, and only 4 students were in the beginning of the class. When the class was starting, there were only 4 students, but when the class finished, we noticed that were only 3 students. So one student goes out of the call. I don't know why. Maybe he or she doesn't have internet connection problems or something like that, but only were 3 students, and that was kind of sad because with only 3 students we cannot do too much conversation, because they were like, if the teacher asks a close question, obviously they asked yes or no, but if the question was an open question, they also only asked yes or no. So it was kind of difficult and also kind of sad. The classes are only to give activities. The teacher, as I mentioned, do a program, and he sent that program to all the groups, and they obviously need to have that program during the class to be checking the activities that they need to have during the week. If the topics of the activities are not clear for all the students, the teacher tries to explain it, but faster. Doesn't took too much time to explain it. But one thing that I really liked about that is that when the teacher explains, he gives some examples. And to be sure that the students are paying attention, he said, if there, for example, if there were a student called Rosita, he said, Rosita, can you give me an example like the example that I gave you? And the students that he named have to give an example. With that activity, he is doing two things at the time. He is making sure that all the students are paying attention, and he's making sure that all the students have the topic clear, that all the students are understanding. Another thing is that they don't speak too much English. They only speak English, I don't know, to give the examples. But if the teacher asks for an opinion, they give their opinion in Spanish. I know that maybe they don't know too much about English, maybe they don't have too much vocabulary, or sometimes the grammar is not clear at all for them, but I think they need to try. But well, I think I will try to make them speak English in my practice. Another thing that I saw is that students don't participate. I mean, they participate only if the teacher tell them. For example, well, in the example of Rosita, the teacher told her to participate. If the teacher asks something, they don't answer. And that's kind of also sad, because in face-to-face classes, sometimes we ask something and we saw someone else, and the other person knows that I am watching, or I am telling her with the side that he or she have to participate, and online classes is not available to do that. And also they don't turn on their cameras. The teacher told them like 3 or 4 times during the call, open your cameras, please open your cameras, Rosita, open your camera, and one by one open your camera, but they don't open the camera. And that's another thing that I couldn't observe. I couldn't observe if the students were paying attention. I couldn't observe if the space where they were taking the class, it was I don't know, with too much space, with a lot of light, or that kind of things. Another thing that I couldn't see, it was the interaction between students, because if they don't participate, obviously they don't interact each other. I saw that the relation between the teacher and the students, it was respectful, but the relation between the students, I couldn't see it. I think there's too much things that I couldn't observe because of this situation of the pandemic. But I think that we need to take advantage of this situation. And well, for example, in my classes in the normal, the teachers are giving us a new tools, new web pages to take classes, for example, Kahoot, or maybe the Blackboard, and where we write notes during the class, or that kind of things. And that's another thing that the teacher brings to their students. In the classes, as I mentioned, are only to give the activities, not to explain topics. So they don't have another tools. I give a questionnaire. I did a questionnaire to the students, and one of the questions was if they were improving new tools, and they answered no. We are only working in Words, in like PowerPoint, or these Microsoft apps that we have improving all of us, all the students. But no, they don't know, for example, Kahoot or the platform in which we were working, and they don't know nothing of this. So I think that's important. We need to take advantage of it. Um, and well, basically, that was my experience. I knew that it was difficult with these new online classes, but I think we can do it better. And well, I felt really comfortable in the classes. The teacher, it was really respectful, and the students were really cute, really nice. The girls of the Monday were talking a little bit with me, and it was really a really beautiful experience to me. And I'm really excited to give them classes because I could see that they were a really good group, and I know it will be difficult. I know it will be difficult, but I have a good attitude, so I hope to do it well. So thank you, teacher, and see you.